Hello, this is Tina with Content Creators Club. If you don't already know what I do, I help creators like you build automated and profitable content businesses so that you can have time to enjoy life. So, with that being said, this kind of goes perfectly in line with our theme for today's topic on talking about living my 20-hour a month creator business, how I really got there, and what leverage really looks like more than anything. I kind of just wanted to start off this conversation talking a little bit about, what I do in my fun time. And you're probably in a similar boat, but in my fun time, I really enjoy like watching YouTube videos. It's like where everything started for me. It started, watching content from Ali Abdal, watching content from like MimiCon, all these really big creators now, but maybe small time creators back then. But anyways, YouTube is my happy place. Kind of keeping up that trend of going to my happy place, I recently watched one of Ali Abdal's life update videos. And so I've been watching his videos for a couple years now. And some fun facts here is that at the time of this recording, back in June, I had the opportunity to meet him in person actually at the Craft and Commerce conference. And so it was a really great experience. And that's a story for a different day. But, anyways, in the video, he talked about this balance between wanting more versus having enough. And I could say, like, in life, there's kind of like, I don't know, like one side leads more than the other, right? So you want more, but you also have this balance of like having enough, right? And so that really struck a chord with me because, as my partner calls it, he calls it a pendulum sometimes with me. And I totally get it because God bless his soul. But, anyways, there are times where I want to go full steam ahead and kind of just say, fuck it, like I'm all in. Let's go, let's do it. And then there are times where I'm like, please, like, I just don't want to open my laptop for the next 7 days. And what I've realized is like, it's okay to have those times. It's okay to have it because it's a balancing act more than anything. And so this past year has taught me that it's important, really, actually, like, scratch that. It's critical that us build a business that allows for both. Now, what does that mean? That means that I want you to be able to build a business that allows you to profit, hence the whole concept of having a profitable content business, but it also allows you the opportunity to create more. And I need to probably add this without being burned out, right? And so I'm a big believer in creating layering and set it forget it strategies together. So what does that mean? It means like I like to focus on one thing at a time, one strategy at a time, layer that strategy, really work on building that foundation of that strategy, optimize it, figure out what it needs to be done, and then set it and forget it by either automating the activity or outsourcing it to a person, things like that, right? And so how does that look like in practice of like building that type of business? Well, like I said, focusing on one strategy at a time. And so this is where you want to think about, okay, when you think about a business, like you have to have three core things. You have to have traffic, you have to have some type of monetization piece, you have to have some type of strategy where you're consistently selling. What does that look like in practice? Well, for me, the first thing that I focused on, the first layer that I set down in this content business was focusing on one traffic strategy that didn't rely on social media, and that was through collaborations, right? Doubling down on what works and what doesn't work for like 3 months heads down, like pure focus, like optimizing it, building automations to either automate my, freebie swap pitching or automate my bundle promotion, things like that allows me to not only free up my time, but I got really good at figuring out like what is worth my time being invested in, right? Is it worth it to me focus more on collaborations? Yes, versus social media. No, right? And so when I figured out the strategies on how to really optimize that traffic strategy piece, then I got really good at it. And I was like, okay, I can move on to other things, right? And so instead of taking that on, we kind of going back to that place of setting a layer and then setting it and forget it. And so in this case, I handed it off to my assistant. She now works on this every single month. I don't really do anything related to like actually the in the weeds of the collaborations work. I really focus on the strategy piece of, right, and creating strategic partners to collaborate with. But when it comes to the actual nitty gritty work, like it's either automations or my assistant who's now doing it because you have that set it and forget it piece, right? And the second layer that's also important to focus, I'm kind of like imagining like a triangle, like if you have a foundation layer and then another layer, but the second piece is focusing on one monetization funnel, right? So I, over the past year, have been testing out different offers to see which offer converts well for cold traffic in this funnel, how to really optimize every single step for cash in this funnel. And so, once I figured that out, now it just runs in the background, right? Because when you think about it, like if I'm having my traffic pretty much done for me, then all I gotta do is just point it to a funnel that converts, right? And so this is where, focusing on that next strategy. Now, building a funnel is not just one thing where you like, yes, you can set it and forget it, but it's really great to actually have other points of ways for people to enter that funnel besides just pure traffic, right? And so focusing on one selling strategy that converts, right? So I spent maybe months figuring out like which selling strategies do I really like. I thought of exploring strategies like leveraging social media, leveraging different areas. And I realized like at the end of the day, like what's really important is focusing on the strategy that works well with you, your creativity, and your energy. Right. So I will say, and this is more recent, like I'm someone who loves to write. And so I prefer to sell through writing, right? I find it more enjoyable and I love the aspect of writing. I could do it on my own time. I could do it in my PJs. I could do it in the comfort of my home, right? I don't have to get dressed up or anything like that. But that's the strategy that works for me. Writing is a strategy, right? And so ends up happening is that like you layer in all these different strategies and you end up being in a place where I'm today where like daily sales are not a dream anymore. It's a priority because you make it a priority, right? I'm really tired of hearing this concept that like, oh, I'm just going to continue doing this and hope for sales. Like hope is not a strategy, right? And strategy is actually doing the work, is figuring out ways how to optimize your time so that you're inserting leverage to get more output than input, right? And so you can figure out how to, build your collaboration strategy, build your monetization funnel and your selling strategy all by yourself. It took me maybe 4 or 5 years to figure that out. Or you can get my 5+ years of experience selling online in the Everything Creator Bundle. And the coupon for $49 off our $199 Creator Bundle expires today. So I highly recommend, or sorry, not today, expires in 3 days. Highly recommend for you to jump on that on. Definitely use the coupon code Black Friday Early Bird. And I hope you make the decision that's best for you, right? So save your time, save your energy, and more importantly, build a business that is leveraged. So with that being said, I'll see you in the next video. Hope to see you on the inside of the Everything Creator Bundle, and I'll see you next time. Bye.